Time for business now. Brian is with us today. He's starting with a major data breach at South Korea's top e-commerce firm, Brian.
So Coupang, Stuart, South Korea's largest online retailer, often described as the country's Amazon. On Sunday, it issued a public apology after revealing that the personal data of nearly 34 million customers had been leaked in a data breach that began as early as June. Names, phone numbers, addresses, even some order history information among the information accessed. The company says no credit card numbers or passwords were compromised. Despite strict data privacy laws in the country, a number of top South Korean firms have suffered data breaches in recent years, including SK Telecom and Lotte Card. SK Telecom was slapped with a $100 million fine over its lax security. The latest is not the first such hack of Coupang itself. Authorities say they're investigating whether or not the company has broken any safety rules. Here's its CEO.
I want to express my sincere apologies to Coupang's customers and the public for any inconvenience this incident may have caused. We are actively cooperating with the police and relevant government agencies. Once the investigation progresses, I believe these matters will become much clearer.
Next, the US President Donald Trump says he's made his pick for the next leader of the country's central bank.
So Trump has made no secret of his desire to replace the current Federal Reserve Chair, Jerome Powell, frequently lashing out at Powell online for not cutting interest rates fast enough or far enough. Powell's term ends in May. On Sunday, the president said that he has made up his mind for who he will nominate to lead the Fed. Trump has declined to specify just who that will be, but most observers expect him to pick Kevin Hassett. He currently serves as director of the White House National Economic Council. Hassett is seen as very close and very loyal to Trump. That has raised concerns that his eventual chairmanship could erode the Fed's traditional political independence and compromise trust in the institution. Whoever gets the nod will require Senate confirmation. They will also likely struggle to unite a Fed board that remains deeply divided on the issue of rate cuts. Inflation is still a serious issue in the U.S., particularly with Trump's mercurial tariff policies. Hassett, though, pointing out that the markets have responded positively to rumors of his nomination. Here he is on Sunday.
President Trump has a whole bunch of great candidates, and I think any one of them would be a big trade up from where we are. But then once it became clear that the president's getting closer to make a decision, the markets really celebrated. Interest rates went down. We had one of our best Treasury auctions ever. And so I think that the market expects that there's going to be a new person at the Fed, and they expect that President Trump's going to pick a new one. And if he picks me, I'll be happy to serve.
Let's check then on the day's trading action. How are the markets shaping up?
Here in Europe, Stuart, major indexes opened in the red after some significant gains last week, it must be said. Global investors cautious despite increasing expectations of a December rate cut from the Fed. Airbus shares down 1.6% after that grounding of thousands of its jets due to a software issue tied to solar radiation. The CAC 40 here in Paris off by around 0.5% at the open. Asian markets mixed on Monday. The Nikkei in Tokyo falling nearly 1.9%. Korean cybersecurity stocks making some big gains in the wake of that data breach at Coupang. The Kospi in Seoul, though, still slightly in the red. Chinese indexes, meanwhile, making gains despite new data showing factory activity in the country shrank unexpectedly in November. Major cryptocurrencies, meanwhile, continuing to slide as investors increasingly de-risk their portfolios of the highly speculative assets. Bitcoin down 5.6%, with Ether off more than 6.5% after China's central bank signaled that it may begin a new crackdown on illegal activities using digital currencies. And Bitcoin had already lost more than 16% of its market value in November.
Finally, for business, as Australia prepares to ban social media for teens, many other countries are watching very closely as they consider their own similar bans, aren't they?
Australian teens indeed will soon be signing out of TikTok, Instagram, Facebook, and more as the country's social media ban for kids under age 16 takes effect on December 10th. They likely won't be alone for long. Lawmakers around the world planning to follow in Australia's footsteps. Such policies are not without controversy, though. Gabrielle Nadler takes a closer look.
Australian teens are mentally preparing for the Luddite life. The country's social media ban is set to go into effect on December 10th, which will block all children under 16 from having accounts on popular apps like TikTok and Instagram. Companies that don't comply with the ban will face fines of up to $32 million. For some Australian children, like this influencer, the ban's impact will go beyond their social life.
I won't be able to do like a lot of collabs with like younger people and like their businesses because they're all getting banned.
Around the world, people are looking to Australia as a model of how to address a growing problem affecting children's mental health. Denmark, Brazil, and Malaysia are already planning their own bans for teens, and the European Parliament has voted in favor of an EU-wide minimum age. However, some adults oppose the move, arguing a blanket ban is not the best solution.
As a parent, I have 3 children. My role is to filter social media. Some platforms are more addictive than others. Cutting them off completely means sending children from the age of 18, unarmed, unprepared, and without parental guidance into a very complex world of social media.
The hit these bans will take to social media companies' user numbers and time spent on platforms could have a major impact on sales, the bulk of which comes from advertising. eMarketer estimates that this year alone, the social media industry will make over $245 billion for more than 4 billion users worldwide.
This idea of restricting social media for kids really gaining steam around the world, Stuart.
Brian, thanks very much. Brian Quinn with business news for us on France 24. Straight to